And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, again, back with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League, and we're continuing here with Season 2, and in this game, or to start this episode, we have a rematch between the Nashville Stars and the Indianapolis Aeros. These two teams met in the NLCS last year, a very, very good series between those two teams last season, a very competitive series, and they're playing each other here. This is their first time facing each other here in this season in 2023. See Clayton Kershaw there with the 2.65 ERA beginning of the year. 6 starts. That's about 5 or 6 starts is how many games of these guys have pitched so far this season. And you got Noah Syndergaard right now with 34 innings pitched and only has allowed 7 runs, with that ERA sitting 1.83 and the WHIP at only 1.02. And his ERA last year wasn't all that incredible. I mean, it was 4.29. That's not amazing. They got Marco Gonzalez, who had it under 3 ERA. This year, he's doing even better than that right now. He's off to a really hot start here through 4 games started. 27 innings for him, 2.28 ERA so far in a 0.9 whip, 7 runs allowed by him, 22 hits allowed, only has walked 3 guys so far, and has got 17 strikeouts. He's going to be the pitcher that is going to be pitching in this game here today as we highlight a game in this series between these two teams. Antonio Senzatella, last year was fine for him as a number 4 starter. He's had a number 4 ERA. You take that, and right now 29 innings for him, 8 runs allowed, 2.48 ERA. That is really good stuff from him. Mackenzie Gore, through 4 starts, 25.2 innings, only has allowed 14 hits, has walked 11 guys, which is maybe a little bit maybe a little bit much what you want from him, but he's only given up 8 runs. Overall, the starting pitching right now for Nashville is excellent, better than it was last year. And, I mean, they're 15-7 right now. They're playing really well. And their pitching is leading the charge on that department for their team here overall this season. And then you got the bullpen here. Lopez Waka is doing pretty well. Jordan Holloway is doing well. Suarez, Paul Fry does not have any innings yet, but Ranger Suarez has been decent. Tyler Duffy, 8 innings for him so far. And he's gotten 7 holds already this year, only has allowed 3 runs. He's having a good start to his season and his kind of career here in Nashville after playing in St. Louis a year ago for the Sluggers. And probably their biggest name offseason signing that this team had. And then you got Trevor May so far 11-0 in save opportunities this year. 10.1 innings and has only allowed 1 run, 4 walks, 4 hits allowed. That is it for him. One of the better closers in baseball right now. And we'll finish out the first month of this season here in this episode. We'll finish April in this one and then give you a stat recap as well of the first month of the year at the end of the video. You look at the lineup here in this offense right now. It's clicking and they're playing really well. 19 hits and 72 at-bats for this leadoff, their team's leadoff hitter in Francisco Lindor. J.D. Davis, a 254 average. He's got 18 hits so far, 4 home runs, and 11 RBIs at 32 homers last year. And that OPS right now is slightly above what he did a year ago, though the slugging is down a little bit for him, but his on base is high and is improving. Mike Trout has, of course, had a great start to the year. 21 hits for him. 5 doubles already, 7 triples, and 5 home runs. I mean, that's absolutely insane for him. He's got 12 extra base hits in his 21 hits so far that he's gotten in this season. 11 walks to only 18 strikeouts. Stolen a bag as well. The OPS sitting at basically 1,288 average for him. 381 on bases. Slugging right now at 616 is really impressive. And then Kyle Schwarber, this is about, his on base right now is kind of ridiculous. Again, I don't know how long this is going to really last for him, but he did have a 374 on base 2 years ago. That's really good. But right now it's over 400. His on base is 416, 11 walks, or 15 walks to 14 strikeouts for him. Really good stuff from him. Paul Goldschmidt has 22 hits, including 10 extra base knocks there. this season with 6 doubles, 3 homers, and a triple. 9 walks to 20 strikeouts, a 864 OPS so far. Michael Harris, in his rookie season here, his first basically a month of action for him, a little less than that. He's kind of struggled offensively. He's been one of the guys that's not hit that well in this lineup. Only 12 hits for him so far in like 68, 69 at-bats. And only 12 hits for Santiago Espinal as well in 69 at-bats. And 435 OPS. That is really awful. I don't really think Espinal is going to spend much more time in this team starting lineup with those kind of numbers. Max Kepler has only 18 hits, so the average is sitting only at 237, which is actually what it was last year for him. But, 722 OPS. His on base isn't that bad. I mean, 11 walks to 17 strikeouts for him so far. And, he's just about a middle-of-the-road outfielder in terms of the offense for him. That's basically what you expect. Only 8 hits all year so far for Manny Pena. 417 on base. That is pretty awful. His defense is his only saving grace right now because his bat is very just not there in any way. Gavin Lux spending 253. Now we're moving over to Indianapolis here and this team and what they look like to begin this season. And Mark Canha, 241 average, 20 hits for him. The OPS sitting at above 800. 4 homers and 11 RBIs, so 9 extra base hits for him. Vladdy has been hitting the ball well, for sure, so far. That average at over 325 hits for him this season. Only 5 walks so far, but, I mean, these are really good numbers from Guerrero. Only 24 years old in this game, one of the younger superstars in the league. And then you got Cedric Mullins, who's kind of down right now from what he did a year ago. I mean, it's still so early on in the season, though. But Cedric Mullins' average is only at 257 right now. The on-base, 356, that's about where he was last year. The OPS for him right now is down. He's not getting as many extra base hits to start the year for him. And then Josh Donaldson has struggled out of the gate, only has 9 hits so far. He's 37 years old, and I believe this is the last year of his contract here with Indianapolis. He's declining already, and I don't really think I'm going to impact and change his stats very much. He's at the tail end of his career. This is his last year on contract here, and I don't know if Indianapolis will bring him back or not. Probably seems unlikely that they will at this point, but we'll have to see. Dominic Smith only had 125 at-bats last season. He's been okay this year, 20 hits for him so far. Danny Jansen has been okay so far. Marcelo Ozuna, 15 hits and 63 at-bats so far. 20 hits and 68 at-bats for Didi Gregorius, and yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, he has about the same number of hits and 20 less at-bats, 3 less hits and 20 less at-bats than he did when he was at the Bigs for his 86 games last year. And he right now is that number 9 hitter, but I like how he's going to be able to get on base in a decent rate so far. And then Austin Hayes, only 18 at-bats, so super small sample. He just have 6 hits in that time, though. Tristan Casas, okay, for a 69 overall guy. He's on the bench, so there's not really a place for me to put him in the starting lineup. He's got 4 hits and a home run so far. And on the pitching side of things, Max Scherzer is already getting tanked here. He's 38 years old at this point, so he's a couple of years away from being out of the big leagues. But he's still a really dominant pitcher, still having a dominant year, 2.45 ERA, I believe that was there. And then Dustin May, the pitcher in this game for the Arrows today, 3.2 ERA for him. Zach Eflin, a 2.65 ERA so far in 4 starts. That's 10 runs in 24 innings. Dylan Cease, the ERA sitting just above 4. I would like to see, his numbers improve from last year. He's still a young pitcher. And then Chris Bubik, 12 runs, giving up in 23.2 innings. So he's kind of struggled a little bit more out of the gate this year than those other pitchers have. Overall, though, I do like where the pitching staff is at. James Kaprielian, only 3 runs allowed in 26 innings so far this year. That's really good for him. He was pretty good as this team's long relief pitcher last season. He's got that role again this year, and I like where those numbers are at. Those are good stats right there for him. Reliable guy to go to out of the bullpen for sure. And then got Chad Kuhl, who struggled to start the year. Pedro Baez has also struggled. He's given up 6 runs in 4 innings so far. Brian Abreu is only a 68 overall. He's not gotten any innings so far this year. And you know, overall, this bullpen is pretty low rated. I mean, the highest rated guy is Garrett Whitlock, but besides him, you know, it's Cole Solster here, who's switched 4, you know, shutdown innings. Has only allowed like 1 base runner there, it looks like. And then Garrett Whitlock has been good as this team's closer so far. 7 saves in 8 opportunities, 2 runs allowed in 7.2 innings. Without further ado, let's get into this bowl game here between these two teams, shall we? So we're here in Indianapolis, in Ebbets Field. And the Arrows have been, you know, about 500 this year so far through 21 games, 11-10. And meanwhile, the Stars, one of the better teams in the league right now, one of the better starts in baseball. They're 15-7 so far this season. So an interesting and fascinating matchup between these two teams. And overall, these two teams aren't much different from what we saw in the playoffs when these two teams faced each other. There's a look at Dustin May's numbers a little bit more. 25.1 innings for him, 3.2 ERA. So he's been off to a pretty decent start this year, I would say. He's got a full count right now to Francisco Lindor, who's going to foul that pitch off again. And, man, this is a long at-bat to begin the night for Dustin May. This is the 8th pitch here to Lindor already. And it's a ground ball. It's stopped by the shortstop, and he hits it down, but it's not going to be an out recorded, as that's not going to get into the outfield, but it's still going to be a hit for Lindor. So a hit to start the inning off and the evening off, and that's a swing and a miss, though. J.D. Davis swinging right through a inside pitch. That was pretty filthy there. And out number 1, he has trying to steal second base now, and getting thrown out is Francisco Lindor. And I don't know, maybe this is just a thing that I've noticed whenever I go into a game. Francisco Lindor always tends to try and steal bases, but is rarely ever successful. I've only seen him like swipe 2 or 3 bags the entire time that I've watched Nashville, and yet he steals every time he's on the base pass, it seems like. That's a swing and a miss on Mike Trout there to get the 3rd out of the 1st inning. And that's a good start for Dustin May, working around the leadoff single, and it ends up being him facing the minimum there in that 1st inning. So here's Marco Gonzalez, and this year for him, I mean, it's a great start. 22 hits allowed, a 0.9 whip. I mean, only 3 walks is really impressive so far. And I think last year he started off like this, you know, started off this season with really solid numbers. So, you know, how long can he keep this kind of going? He's really good. I really like him as a number 3 in this rotation now behind, you know, Kershaw and DeGrom. That's a line drive base hit, not DeGrom, behind Kershaw and Syndergaard in this pitching rotation. That one is going to miss outside. He gives up a base hit to begin the game. Now he's got 3 balls on the number 2 hitter here. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, though. Mark Hanna swings and misses at the changeup down low and below the knees. This is a great pitch by Marco Gonzalez. And you see it here in slow motion. A little bit out in front of that was Mark Hanna, but nothing you can really do with that pitch anyway. So now 1-2 to Vladdy here, and he's going to ground that one down the line, and it's past J.D. Davis at 3rd base. It's a base hit, and going up to 3rd, and getting there safely is Gavin Lux. He's in at 3rd base, and that's kind of a little bit of a risky call there on the base pass this early in the game, but they get him to 3rd base successfully, and that's a base hit up the middle. That's going to score a run. So Cedric Mullins immediately will cash in that slightly risky base running maneuver there and cash it in with the base hit that drives home that runner. And in to score comes Gavin Lux. So the Arrows strike first here tonight. So now it's Josh Donaldson here at the plate. And this is a big at-bat as he's going to swing and miss and stealing second and third, a double steal for the Arrows, and it's going to be successful. Wow, Vladdy, I don't know. I mean, how many stolen bases? Vladimir Guerrero is not really known as a big base stealer, and I think it was maybe supposed to be a hit and run as well. I mean, Donaldson swung and missed at the pitch, but now the runners are on second and third, and I guess it's not the worst thing in the world there to immediately walk Donaldson. That's what Gonzalez does here. I don't necessarily hate that move because now you have a force at any base here, double play possibility. That one misses though, and Gonzalez, I mean, he's going up to 30 pitches thrown in this inning now, and every single batter basically has had a 3-ball count. He has struggled in location today, but that's a ground ball, just what he needed, a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop starts it, and it's a double play as they go around the horn to end the inning. So the Arrows getting a lot of base runners in that frame. 3 hits and a walk, and they get 1. They could have gotten more, but they only get 1 run in the first here as we go to the top of the second now. Here's Michael Harris, and he's going to swing and miss at a sinker there. Kind of a hittable pitch, I mean, above the knees. Not necessarily, maybe not in his sweet spot, but definitely hittable there, and yeah, that's the 3rd strikeout for Dustin May here so far. We go bottom 2. Here's Zach Veen at the plate. 250 average for him. 3 homers, 9 RBIs so far. First pitch is a line drive. That was into the outfield here, and it's going to bounce right in front of the wall. And extra bases for Jansen. He's going to get the second with a double. It's not an automatic double. It's kind of rare that you hit a ball into that part of the outfield that deep, and it's not going to be a ground rule double for you. That's a swing and a miss by Marcell Ozuna. Yeah, that's the second strikeout for Gonzalez, and that's a big one there to get the first out of the inning here. Yeah, it's 2 down now. Man on second now, back up to the top of the order already. Second at bat for Lux already tonight, and that's a sinker that catches the bottom of the zone right at the knees for strike 3. That was a great pitch by Gonzalez, and he works around the leadoff double, doesn't give up any more. As we go to the 3rd inning here already, it's still 1-0. It's here Santiago Hospital to begin the 3rd inning. And he's now going to swing and miss. Man, off-speed pitches are working right now for Dustin May. There's number 4 on the evening, and I like the way that he started in this game here through the first few innings. As you look at this pitch sequence, really great sinker location right here, and then that slurve there underneath the zone. I mean, you're just not hitting any of those pitches. Great location on all of them. Now it's Manny Pena. Well, he's got 2 strikes on him right now. That ball, though, misses inside, so it's 3-2. Count full. Manny Pena's not a threat with the bat, really. He can go right after him here. As it's a swing and a line drive, speared and caught by Donaldson at 3rd base. Well, I said he wasn't a threat, and then he almost lined one down the line, probably for extra bases. But either way, that'll end the top of the 3rd. Still 1-0 here. And can Marco Gonzalez kind of settle in after a rough couple of innings? He's got 55 pitches now. This is his 55th of the game. He gives up another hit here, though. Already the 5th one for the Arrows tonight. Went out single by Vladimir Guerrero.
Now batting, center fielder.
So an RBI last time up for Cedric Mullins. That was his 8th RBI of the season here. And he's got Vladdy on base once again. As there's a swing and a miss. That was a sinker there. Inside and up. And that's a big punch out right there. Number 4. For Gonzalez now. Well, here's Donaldson up again. Walked his first time up here. And on the first pitch of this at bat, he pops it up into foul territory. But J.D. Davis is on and over, making the catch there. And that'll end the inning. So Marco Gonzalez has kind of settled in. I mean, he's still giving up some base runners, but has not given up a run since that first inning. So here we go. Top of the order once again for Nashville. Their offense has not really done anything to this point here. But it really only takes a couple of big swings. And this is an offense that can get going rather quickly, as that was inside and it hits Lindor there on the leg. So that's a hit batter and a base runner.
The third baseman.
Handling the second one for the Stars tonight. But now here's the meat of their order with all the power that you can imagine here. As J.D. Davis, they're saying it, threw it on the Stars here on the team with 4 home runs. And he takes that pitch inside. 3-2 count now. To him is a ground ball. And that one's stopped by Gregorius. They get one out there, but J.D. Davis does run out and beat out the double play attempt right there. So that's an out in the inning. And a good job here by Gregorius immediately firing it to second base to get the lead runner. Here's Mike Trout up again for the second time today. And a 1-1 to him is a line drive into deep right field. At the wall is Ozuna. He can't bring it back. It's gone. Mike Trout, the star of the team, gets Nashville on the board here in the 4th inning. It's 2-1. The 6th of the year for Mike Trout, who I think firmly takes the lead now on the team in terms of home runs. The home run leader, 324 feet to right field. Big swing, and I mean, that's just what this team is all about. 24 pitches for Dustin May. You need a big swing for this team. That's the guy you call on to get it. 2-2 now to Goldschmidt is a fly ball. Shallow center here, but I believe Cedric Mullins is his team center fielder. He's on there to make the catch. Mike Trout, 6 home runs for him on the season now. And, I mean, this was a line drive type of shot into that right field. You don't need all you really need to hit a home run over there is height. And he got that ball high enough. Here is Ozuna, who could not catch that home run that Mike Trout just hit. He's up here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Gonzalez looking for his first 1-2-3 inning tonight. And a diving play by Paul Goldschmidt. Oh my goodness. And he does. Gonzalez has got that 1-2-3 inning off of the back of a fantastic diving stop made. Wow, laying it all out there by Goldschmidt. So now we go top 5, and here's Michael Harris again. 0-2 to him, and he's not going to check his swing, but it's not going to matter. That is strike 3. Cutter on the inside corner. That is just a perfect pitch by Dustin May. Wow. Second time that Harris has struck out now. 5th strikeout of the game. There's a line drive base hit for Santiago Espinal. Doesn't have a lot of those this year. That's his 10th of the season, I believe, now. And a man on here for Manny Pena, who is 0 for 1. Lined down to third base. Hit it hard in his last at-bat. And here's a 1-2. Now he's going to swing and drive this ball deep to left field. That one's got a chance, and it's gone! Home run, Manny Pena! Only his 2nd homer this year, and Nashville will double their lead here, or double their runs at least in this game. They're now up 4-1. And I mean, that was a no-doubter apparently for Pena. The outfielders didn't really move it. I don't even think it really got out by that much, but still a long home run. And how about that? I mean, whenever you get any kind of offense from Manny Pena, that's just such a huge bonus, because it's obviously not what his role is right now really on this team. But I mean, this is all it takes, right? Is a couple of guys on this lineup to get some good swings put together. This is the best offense in the National League, and I think in baseball as a whole last year for a reason. And it was really a lot of guys that were able to contribute a year ago for this squad. So 4 hits, 4 runs. Nashville's doing the most with the guys that they get on base and is able to score them in quite easily. Logan Gonzalez looking to put down another scoreless inning, and this is a huge job that he's doing right now. His offense is scoring, and he is putting up zeros. He puts up another one here in the 5th, so that's 4 innings in a row, and didn't give up a hit in that inning either, but 4 innings in a row with a 0 for Logan Gonzalez, and his start is actually going to turn out to be a pretty good one. Well, here's James Caprillion coming out of the bullpen in the 6th inning for the Arrows here. In 26 innings, we've already seen what his numbers look like here this year. They're very good, but 5 innings and 4 runs for Dustin May, who started out the game really good. Pitched 3 scoreless innings to begin the afternoon, but gave up a couple of long home runs. Or not, I mean, they were the first one by Trout wasn't really a long home run, but he gave up a couple of home runs there and some mistake pitches. There's a swing and a miss on J.D. Davis right here to begin this inning. And that's a line drive caught and speared by Donaldson again at third base. Josh Donaldson has some great reflexes. Mike Trout was like, yeah, I thought that was a hit for sure. And out 2-2 to Goldschmidt is flown up in the air. Shallow outfield, and then Gregorius leads it and goes all the way out and makes the catch to get the final out. And 4, 5, and 6 for an Arrows offense that has been pretty quiet here the last few innings. Can they come back and get anything done in this game again? Well, Gonzalez has got the first 2 outs of the 6th, and it's a ground ball right to short. Good pick at first base by Goldschmidt there, and that probably is going to be the last inning for Marco Gonzalez, who ends up going 6 innings and only gives up 1 run. Really good stuff from Marco Gonzalez after, in the first inning where he gave up 4 base runners. Here's Michael Harris, and so far he's had not a great day at the plate. Struck out twice so far. Count is full to him now here. The 3-2 from Caprillion is a 4-seamer at 92 or 94 there with that pitch. And Michael Harris thinks it's gas because he was way late on this pitch. Look at that, and look at that again. And yeah, Michael Harris late on that fastball for sure, as that is a strikeout to begin the 7th. Now it's Santiago Espinal who swings and crushes this deep to left center field. Santiago Espinal launching a no-down home run. Whoa, 381, the longest in the game for Nashville to this point. First of the year for the shortstop. And, I mean, we just talked about him probably being not in the lineup for a long time after this game here. And he's got a hit earlier. Now launches a homer. Telling me that he wants to be an everyday guy on this lineup right now. And yeah, longest home run of the day, 381 to left center. Wow, what a huge swing right there. And it's 5-1. 4-run lead now all of a sudden for the Stars. And here's Max Kepler at the plate. And a full count pitch to Kepler here. That's a line drive into left field, into right field, and it's off the wall. That's gone. Line drive shots from Max Kepler. And Espinal and Kepler go back to back, and this lead for Nashville keeps growing. It's now a 5-run cushion, 6-1. And yeah, I mean, a line drive home run. Those are really the types of home runs that can only happen in this type of a ballpark there. 428 feet. Liner, probably in most other stadiums, that's bouncing off the wall. I mean, hit still really well by Max Kepler, who gets his 4th home run of his season here. And the 4th or 5th home run of the game for the Stars tonight. That's a swing and a miss. J.D. Davis strikes out. But yeah, we have had Trout hit 1. We've had Espinal and Kepler just hit a couple there. And then we had a home run in the last inning by their catcher. And so 4 homers here for Nashville in this game tonight so far. And here's Ronaldo Lopez, 13.2 innings for him, and his ERA sitting at 5.4, I believe it said there. So now Nashville, or Indianapolis, excuse me, now Indianapolis all of a sudden down by 5 runs and hasn't had anything to show for their offense here in the last few innings. If they want to get anything going or rally started, they got to do it right here, right now in this inning, as here's Marcell Ozuna at the plate. 1-2. Pitch to Ozuna. It's a slider. Swung on and missed. And that is not going to help your comeback efforts at all. As here's Didi Gregorius up again. I like these long white sleeves with the all white batting gloves that he's got. That's really cool. Styling. That's a fly ball, shallow right field. It drops in, and then unable to snag that one and bring it in is the right fielder who I'm trying to remember who it is on this team. And Max Kepler, I believe, is the right fielder here for this team, and he just could not. Oh no, Michael Harris is out there in right field for Nashville. He could not catch that one. So 2 men on here, and now there is 2 men out as Gavin Lux swings and misses at a fastball high in the zone. That's a brilliant pitch by Lopez, and Gavin Lux swings right through it, late on that pitch. Classic strikeout, 2-strike pitch right there. So now 2 on, 2 out, ground ball back up the middle. That one's gonna get on through around third, and coming in to score is the runner, and that's a run on the board for Indianapolis. Mark Hanna gets a run here, and it's a 4-run lead. So 3-2 to Guerrero, who's going to ground it to second base, but a great stop by the second baseman. And Lindor ends the inning. He starts that out, snags the ball, snags that grounder. So Indianapolis, they kind of come back here, but they only get 1 run. Still need 4 to get here tonight. And they're going to bring out another new pitcher in this game. And Brian Berry, this is his first action of the whole year. Only pitched 14 innings last year. I wanted him to pitch a lot more frames. He didn't start the year in the majors, but yeah, I wanted to see him pitch more innings that last season. And Mike Trout is going to swing and crush a ball into deep straightaway center. That one might be the longest of the day for Nashville. And Mike Trout's done it again. 7th homer tonight. That is the longest today for Nashville. Their 5th homer of the game. 408 feet to straightaway center field. Mike Trout's got number 7 on the year, and it's 7-2. Wow. Yeah, straightaway center field. That ball was absolutely crushed. So 5-run lead is right back in place now for Indianapolis to try and come back from, and they're running out of outs. They only got 4 left, as that's a swing and a miss. A strikeout there. Not going to help your cause here, and this is going to end up being kind of a disappointing blowout kind of win here for the Stars, unless Indianapolis does something crazy. That's a fly ball, though, to Harris in right field. They end the 8th inning, so Lopez does give up a run here in this outing, but, I mean, probably will pitch the 9th, I would assume here. But, yeah, 7-2 as we go into the 9th inning. Here's Francisco Lindor. And Lindor now is going to drive one into right field. Ozuna once again is at the wall, and it's gone! Home run parade for the Stars. Francisco Lindor with home run number 6 for Nashville tonight. My goodness. And again, I mean, distance doesn't really matter all that much in a right field if you can get it high in the air, and that one was super high in the air. No chance for it to be robbed. That's a strikeout. Lopez is indeed out for the 9th inning in a 6-run game, 8-2. And yeah, this game ended up being a blowout basically here. And that's a slider now. Inside and high. I mean, maybe not an amazing location, but a strikeout all the same, and that is going to end the game. And pretty dominant win here for the Nashville Stars. I mean, they didn't score first. The Arrows actually got the first run way back in the first inning, but it was 2 runs at a time at first there for Nashville, but they just kept hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and they took control. Took the lead in the 4th inning and never looked back from there. So Mike Trout with 2 home runs. Manny Pena had a home run. Espinal had a home run. So did Max Kepler. I mean, a home run fest for this ball club here in this game, and a dominant 8-2 victory. So I guess, in the NLCS rematch, you want to show, the Stars won the NLCS in 7 games last year. And they had 8 hits, 8 runs, And they wanted to show in Indianapolis that they're still the best team right now, the team to beat in the National League, and I still think that they are definitely that right now at the moment. And Indianapolis back to 500 on the year. They are 11-11 and now. Nashville 16-7 and now on the season here to begin the year. Mark Hanna there, a couple of hits for him, an RBI. Guerrero had a couple of hits as well. And Cedric Mullins is the only other guy to have multiple hits tonight and the only other guy to get an RBI. He's got 8 of them now this year. Canna got his 12th. Dustin May pitched okay in this one. His ERA went from 3.2 to 3.86. Yeah, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 5 strikeouts. I mean, first 3 innings were great. Last couple of innings he pitched weren't that great. And James Caprillion gave up 2 runs on a couple of hits. And Chad Cole, 0.2 innings, didn't give up a run. But both of the other guys that Indianapolis brought out of the bullpen gave up a run. Brian Abreu did. And then one more in that ninth inning. And then you look at Nashville here. And, yeah, 6 home runs in total for them today in this one. That's a big number. I mean, but that's what this team is really great at. I don't actually know where they are rated or ranked in the league here in terms of their home runs. They might be the team with the most in baseball, maybe just in the National League at this point this year. But Lindor had a couple of hits and a homer. Mike Trout, a couple of home runs for him. He's got 7 and 14 RBIs now on the season. And then Marco Gonzalez, another really solid start for him. Quality start. He gets his second win of the year, 6 innings, 7 hits, a bit much, 2 walks, but only 1 run and 6 strikeouts. He gave up that run really early on and then didn't give up anything else from there. Lopez got 3 innings of really good work here, gave up a run, but 3 good innings for him. So as we move on here, we are going to jump into this critical situation. We got Salt Lake and St. Louis in a 2-1 game. One out in the inning here and a man in scoring position at second base. Salt Lake started the year like 5 or 6-2 or 6-1 or something like that. They have fallen off since then. Right now they are 11-14. I think was their record right there. So they've definitely struggled a little bit more here in the last couple of weeks. As Jorge Mateo trying to lay down a squeeze bunt here, but it doesn't work. He can't get a contact on the ball, and he takes that slider. That was a good pitch by Ryan Tepera, but it just missed on the outside part of the zone, apparently. So, big-time situation here for Mateo. 3-2 count now, and it's inside. A slider. Good takes right there by Jorge Mateo on a couple of pitches that were pretty borderline. I mean, on the corner or just outside of the corner of the strike zone. So here now is Logan Davidson at the plate. Now 2-2 to him. It's a swing and a miss on a fastball outside of the zone. Great pitch right there by Ryan Tepera for the huge strikeout. And that is going to be a big out number 2 here in the ninth. It's at 6-20 there as you look at the standings reading out down below. But here's the 1-1. It's a ground ball. It's not picked up. Oh, the third baseman does not handle that ball well there, as it's going to be an infield single, and it's going to set up the bases loaded here with 2 outs. I mean, does it get any more clutch than this in this kind of situation? I mean, that's not the worst thing that Ronald Acuna Jr. could have done to you in that at bat, but here's now Teoscar Hernandez. Bases loaded, 2 outs. What every kid dreams of growing up here in this type of situation, and he pops it up in foul territory. First baseman Matt Olson is underneath it. Makes the catch, and that's how the game ends. Wow. St. Louis holds on here in the ninth and wins a close one. Wins a 1-run victory here in this game against the Bees. And the Sluggers, they started out the season about a 500 baseball team here this year. But that's a big win in a tough situation there. Eduardo Rodriguez getting the win for St. Louis tonight. And, Salt Lake only had 3 hits all day. 2 of them belonged to Ronald Acuna Jr., who also had a home run. and the only RBI of the game for Salt Lake. 8 home runs now for him, 15 RBIs. He's having a really good start to the year. And Salt Lake's averages here have dropped off quite a bit. They're not hitting the ball super effectively and super well this year. Miles Michaelis, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. It's a really good start for him, but unfortunately he gets handed the loss because his offense could do nothing to help him. And then Julio Rodriguez had a home run, 4th of the year for him. Michael Conforto also had a home run in this game. And, Mitch Garver batting 185. That's pretty rough right there. Rodriguez only batting 235, 244 for Contreras. And I'm looking at this lineup, and I just don't see a lot of high batting averages here on this St. Louis team. Probably a big reason to why they might be struggling a little bit out of the gate. You got Rodriguez, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. A brilliant day for him. To pair of 7 saves, but a 5.87 ERA is not that great. So we're in the calendar here, and we're looking at league updates here. We are finished with the month of April. So 1 month here of year 2 in the books. And I don't actually know if it took us any shorter to get through the first month of the season than it did last year. Probably not. It might be probably been about the same because I did introduce all the prospects that we had from the draft and everything. But here's a look at some of these standings right now, and you look at Boston, the Barons right now, 17-12. They are first in the American League West, and then you got the Central, and right now that's a Raptors there. It's a very close division race, and the Raptors only a game above 500 are out in front in that division at the moment. You got the Vandals at 14-15, the Scorpions 13-15, the Dragons 12-16. I thought the Dragons were going to be a lot better at the beginning of this year, but they're kind of struggling a little bit. The Bison here in the American League West, not the team that I would have picked out of this division. I mean, the World Series champions of last year are 12-17 to begin the year right now, and they're last right now in the American League West. Diablos 16-13. They're the 5th-ranked team in baseball. I really like where their roster is at, I think. And they got the Jazz 14-15, the Vipers 13-15, and then the Reapers there lagging behind everybody else, 12-17. And I mean, the wild card, it's so early right now that there's not a lot that we can say about the wild card. But Honey Badgers started out 0-6 this year. They're a couple games above 500. They've definitely gotten a lot better here recently. And then you go to the National League, and this is the standings of the National League. In the Columbus Cardinals right now are leading the National League East. The Stars are not actually first in this division here. They've lost a couple of games, only 5-5 their last 10 here, 17-11. They're a half game behind Columbus. That's pretty surprising. And also surprising is the Richmond Rhinos, who is set at 17-12. They're the 20th ranked team in the league. Their pitching right now is kind of carrying them. It looks like 2.46 ERA as a team at the moment. That might be one of the best ERAs that anybody's got this season. Those are some pretty insane pitching stats right there. Atlanta right now, 239 average is pretty bad, but not as bad as the Pilots, who have a team average of 226 and an on-base of 288. That's rough. They're 8-20. They're the worst team in baseball right now. The Monarchs starting out really good. They're the 7th-ranked team. They're supposed to be a very solid team this year. 17-12 right now for them in their record. The Arrows sitting at 15-13. The Blue Sox 13-15, better than I expected them to be at this point in the season. They're kind of a team on the rebuild. The Millers 13-15, and then the Sluggers there last in the division, even though I think they're a pretty talented group there. They're 12-17 right now. So who is the best? The best team record-wise is the Columbus Cardinals, I think, right? They have 18 wins and 11 losses. Actually, they're the best team in terms of record, I think, in the league right now. That's pretty kind of surprising. Look at the National League West. You have the Rattlers right now just sitting a half game out in the first place in this division. They are the 3rd. So they are the 3rd-ranked team in the league here, and they're 15-13. The Bees 15-14. The Sharks 500 exactly. Spiders a game below 500. Gamblers 12-16. Everybody in that division right now is very close. I don't see the Gamblers being able to truly compete in this division. I don't think the Spiders are ready to truly compete in that division yet either. But that's a look at that division. Look at the National League wild card. Again, not really much to say there. It's so early on in the year. But we have players of the month to look at here. Jared Eichhoff is the pitcher of the month for April right now, and 6 starts for him, 42 innings, and 6 earned runs. That's incredible. 78 overall, C potential pitcher, and he's got a 1.27 ERA, 28 strikeouts. Not a huge strikeout guy there, but I mean, 6 games at 5-0 right now. He's pitching absolutely lights out. For the month in the American League is Manny Machado. Not much of a surprise there. We've already seen some increases for him. 39 hits for him on the season with 7 doubles, 12 home runs, 26 RBIs. It's really good numbers, man. A 420 on base percentage with 15 walks. And then it's Sal Frelick, Rookie of the Month for April. That's really encouraging. And I mean, the 342 average, he's getting on base at a rapid rate here, and he's already improving those contact ratings kind of significantly for just the first month of the year. He's got 27 hits here so far and 85 at bats, 7 walks. So the on base is good though. 366 on base. I would like him to walk a little bit more, but 79 OPS. Not a lot of power for him. I mean, only has 1 home run here throughout the month. Only had 3 last year, but I do like where he's hitting. He's hitting pretty well so far, and that's kind of cool to see him get the Rookie of the Month. And the Pitcher of the Month in the National League isn't going to surprise anyone, really. Jacob deGrom, 6 starts for him and 9 runs. He had 47.1 innings, 50 strikeouts, and 0.82 whip. That's insane. 27 hits, only 12 walks. Wow, 4 home runs allowed right now. I mean, what more else is there to say that hasn't been said about deGrom already? He is just quite simply one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and he's 93 wins, so he's going to get to 100 wins this season, you would think. Omar Narvaez is the player of the game, player of the month for the Chicago Blue Sox here, and these are some insane numbers to put up as a catcher. You got 37 hits in 92 at-bats, 7 home runs. He only had 15 all of last year. That's insane. 17 RBIs. He only had 39 last year. And these are some really crazy numbers. So he's popping off. And George Magical, Rookie of the Year here for the Colorado Rattlers. And he's improving already on some of those power stats and his contact versus lefties. Love to see that. Batting .301 right now with a .363 on base percentage, 25 hits in 83 at bats, 7 doubles, 5 home runs. His offensive ratings are really solid, and he's the DH right now, I believe. I don't think he's out there on the field, but really good start for him as a rookie right now. So here's what the league looks like. League leaders for the first month of the season, and Jared Walsh right now, 32 hits, leads the American League and a batting average. Kind of crazy there. 327 average with 30 hits for Nick Solak so far. 36 hits for Ty France. 333 average, 374 on base. Rafael Devers, 38 hits, 333 average, 8 home runs already. Well, 7 doubles. I mean, those are some awesome numbers for him. He's taken that extra step up after a really good year last year. One of the the young guys that's just emerging right now in baseball, in real life, and in this game right now. And Shohei Ohtani, 27 hits, 84 at bats, 7 homers already, 18 RBIs, and a over 1 OPS, and is pitching. I mean, he's pitching in this league here, and wow, 38.1 innings. I mean, 6 games started for him. Those are awesome pitching numbers too. He has been fantastic. Over 400 on base percentage right there for not J.B. Crawford, but for the other guy, Alex Bregman, that they just showed. And Eddie Rosario, traded over the offseason from Richmond to Toronto, has been really good here in his first month in Toronto. 29 hits and 91 at-bats for him. J.J. Bleday, another New Mexico, excuse me, I can't speak. New Mexico City Diablo here in the top for the batting average. Austin Meadows has been really good at over 1 OPS for him, +4 to his Conner versus lefties already. That's pretty surprising and encouraging there. 33 hits for Willie Adames. And Aaron Ciarte, okay, 311 batting average for him. Those are really good numbers. Austin Riley's has 16 walks already to 19 strikeouts and has a near 400 on base percentage. 429 on base percentage for Bryce Harper with 39. Is that 39 or 29 hits? He is absolutely going off crazy as well this year. Garrett Cooper is up there. Nick Castellanos. Willie Castro is also up here, batting just below 300. Those are really good numbers for him. He's a younger guy playing right now for the Winnipeg Wizards. And they go to the National League, and Omar Narvaez is leading the National League in batting average, batting over 400 at the moment. That's insane. But then Trey Mancini has been absolutely fantastic here so far, over 1 OPS, and second in batting average in the National League and his new home. And Yuri Gurriel, 340 average, 406 on base percentage. The 38-year-old is still getting on base like crazy. And yeah, new home in San Diego for Trey Mancini. He's popping off on offense as well as Dylan Carlson, who's got 37 hits so far this year. Matt Duffy, really good in numbers in Ohio now for him. Max Muncy is up here with 7 home runs already in his new team in Kansas City. Chris Bryant, this is a surprising start for him. I mean, I wish he could do that kind of a thing in real life. God knows we're paying him enough money to be able to do that kind of stuff in Colorado, but he can't ever stay on the field for us. And Jose Miranda, this is an awesome and encouraging first month for him. 326 average, 359 on base, 928 OPS, 2 home runs, 11 doubles. That's really awesome, and 2 triples. I mean, he's got some extra. He's getting good extra base hits, a lot of them so far. So those are really encouraging stats for him in his first month. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of surprising that it wasn't him that got the NL Rookie of the Year. I guess it was probably between George Madrigal and Jose Miranda as to who would get that. And then you got Josh Naylor up here. That's good for them. Josh Naylor is a young guy that Richmond is really trying to lean on. Brandon Crawford is up there. Harry Ford is up here. That's awesome. Okay, a couple of tiny increases to him, but 24 hits and 81 at-bats so far, 7 doubles, 3 homers and 9 RBIs. I mean, hey, these are great numbers. 844 OPS for a young rookie catcher. Those are good numbers, so let's see if he can keep that going. And Corbin Carroll, after, last year, 272 average, 272 batting average, looking to improve on his numbers. He's had a good start to the season as well. So is Alek Tomas. The young guy here, he's a 69 overall now, 31 hits and 105 at-bats with a 339 on base and an 806 on OPS. And that's a good sign after, last year went really poorly for him, having to call him down at some point in that year because he was struggling so much. 14 stolen bases already for Trey Turner, who has a over 400 on base percentage. And I guess it was a good thing then that St. Louis ended up keeping him around because he's a big part of the reason as to why that team is right now in the mix for a playoff spot. So we got 40 hits, leads all of baseball by Trey Mancini. That is awesome to see him now really popping off and improving even more in his new home in San Diego. Guess he likes that ballpark or something here, but Luis Garcia, 34 hits for him. So far, really good beginning to his first year as a full-time starter in Houston. 33 hits for Val Contreras. Is quickly becoming one of my favorite kind of younger players in this league right now. I really like where he's at. And then 118 at-bats for C.J. Abrams, who is unfortunately -3 already in his conduct versus righties. And yikes, has only 22 hits and has a 186 average. That's really low and unfortunate there. But Jose Miranda, man, incredible stuff. He's up there in the most doubles out of anybody right now in the league. Fernando Cisneros up there for a lot of doubles. And so Miranda is tied with 3 other guys right now with 11 home runs, including Jose Ramirez, playing now in New York. And 29 hits for him and 102 at bats, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, 13 walks, and 13 strikeouts. So 365 on base percentage. Those are some awesome numbers for Ramirez, who I do plan on giving a contract extension to when that time comes later on in the season. And then you got Christian Arroyo with 11 doubles and Freddie Freeman as well with 11 doubles. That's pretty encouraging stuff for those guys. Trevor Story as well. He played only about a month last year, or less than that actually, and he got, or a little bit more than that actually. Never mind, but yeah, he only played a couple of months in the season, and then he got hurt for the rest of the year. So his kind of first year back from that injury, and he's been in the ball really well. Bryson Stott has not been hitting the ball really well, unfortunately. Bubba Thompson has been okay so far, 26 hits and 103 at-bats, the 301 on base. That's okay. He's got 2 triples right now. 5 triples. Oh my goodness, 5 triples for Colton Cowser here so far. 76 speed for him, and the 210 average, that's really low right now. His slugging is okay. I mean, yeah, 5 triples is pretty impressive, but he's also not hitting that well, not getting on base a lot. And Bobby Witt Jr. is really struggling right now this year. I don't know why that is. He's got very good ratings, but he is struggling right now out of the gate. Teoscar Hernandez with 9 home runs. That's tied for tops in the National League this year. Tied for tops with Franmil Reyes. He's already got some increases in his power ratings right now. And only 234 on average. He's not going to get on base very much for you, not consistently, or not super consistently at least. Like Trot has a home run, another one, 3 in this episode for him. And then Manny Machado, though, Manny Machado is the league leader. And Aaron Judge actually also has double-digit home runs, the only other guy in baseball, double-digit home runs right now. 10 of them for him, and a 263 batting average with a 339 on base and a over 900 slugging or OPS. So really good numbers for him right now. And again, he's part of that core of guys in New York that I think is going to be a huge key to their offense going forward this year. 26 hits for RBIs for Machado here, and Ryan Mountcastle has been hitting the ball really well. 7 doubles and 7 home runs so far for him. A 570 slugging at the moment and 21 RBIs. So good stuff and good numbers from him. Christian Yelich is also up there in RBIs. Luis Torrens leads the National League in RBIs right now with 23 of them. That's interesting right there. Nando has 22 RBIs. Adam Duvall doesn't get on base like ever. 283 on base percentage, but he's among the top in RBIs. He's got quite a few home runs so far already. Mark Canha with 21 runs scored, and Mark Canha has a 417 on base percentage. Really good stuff from him so far. Kilbadu with 7 stolen bases. Whit Merrifield with 9 stolen bases, 239 batting average. So he had 60 stolen bases last year, which is absolutely insane. I've never seen anybody put up stolen base numbers like that in this game. I don't think he's on pace to get back to 60 again this year. I'm not sure, but I do think he needs to get on base probably a bit more if he wants to make that and get that number. 28 walks for Alex Bregman, the most in baseball, and he leads the league in on base percentage over 460. That's ridiculous. And some of the guys that we've already named before here at the top, Carlos Santana has a really great on base percentage. Actually, that's pretty interesting there. Val Contreras, one of the few guys with an over 400 on base percentage so far. 713 slugging percentage is ridiculous. 707 slugging percentage for a catcher is also kind of ridiculous. I mean, although catchers may be you're used to seeing power hitting catchers in this game, but a 1.162 OPS and a 1.13 1.133 OPS. So Omar Narvaez, OPS leader after April, is really impressive. So we move on to the pitching side of things. 5 wins for Eichhoff, 5 wins for Sandy Alcantara. We highlighted him earlier this season, and we showed off his 4th shutout. He's got, 4 shutouts, or 3 shutouts. 3 shutouts, I think, in his first 6 starts this year. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. And Eduardo Venezuela here, a long reliever this year for the Boston Barons, has 5 wins and has pitched 26 really good innings, actually, out of the bullpen. Cole Irvin, 14 games, a long reliever here for the Kansas City Monarchs, and he's having a good start to his season. Ryan Pepio, 14 runs so far in 30 innings as the San Francisco Spiders lead our long relief pitcher here. The whip is kind of high though, 1.5. He's walked 17 batters, so that's a little bit high for sure. There's like Kikuchi there, the 2.76 ERA, and losses, not really a huge stat for me to look at, but saves is 1, and Garrett Crochet so far for New Orleans is perfect, 10-0, saving games this year. Rafael Iglesias, only 1 blown save, has only given up 5 runs so far. Corey Knebel, 9 saves, 1 blown so far, 9.2 innings. Matt Barnes has 8 saves, 2 blown though already. David Bednar is 8-0 in saves and has not given up a run yet in 9 innings. That's, of course, just what he does. He's so good. Taylor Rogers has only given up 1 run so far, hasn't blown a save yet. Andrew Kittredge has only blown 1 save. Kirby Yates, not amazing. Cody Stashak has stunk it up, 7 runs for him, but he's still got quite a bit of saves this year. 4 runs in 9 innings for Josh Hader. And then not a lot of other guys with saves. Although Ryan Presley here, only 4.2 innings. He hasn't given up a run. But Trevor May leads the league right now. Leads baseball with 12 saves and 0 blown so far. That's really impressive. Drew Pomerantz has been really impressive with 11 saves and 12 opportunities. Jordan Romano, 11 saves and has not blown 1 yet. Hasn't given up a run in 12 innings. James Karinchak, we saw him blow a save earlier this year, and that area is still kind of high, but he has 10 saves already. Colin McHugh has given up no runs in 8.1 innings so far with 10 saves. Garrett Whitlock has given up 2 runs. So has Taylor Rogers. And Clay Holmes, 8 innings, 8 saves, no runs allowed. Really good stuff for him in Richmond there as their closer. Blake Trinan signed into a pretty big deal. He's starting off the season really well. And now we go to ERA. This is the important stat for starters. And you got Walker Buehler, who right now is pitching lights out. 5 runs allowed only in 44.1 innings. That's awesome there. Jack Flaherty, 1.3 innings. He's one of the best pitchers in the league right now. He's absolutely on fire. Nate Pearson here in 6 games started 39 innings, 40 strikeouts, only 7 runs allowed, 1.08 whip. That is an awesome start for him. 39 innings all of last year, and these numbers blow those ones out of the water by comparison. He pitched pretty well, though, in those 39 innings the last time he was there, but he's a young guy that's pitching really exceptional so far. Then I know his Syndergaard with a 1.79 ERA. James Paxton here, his new home in Las Vegas, 40 innings, and has given up 9 runs. Really good stuff from him. He's a guy that might be traded by the Gamblers at the trade deadline if he's got a lot of value. And then Corbin Burns, 41 innings for him. He's still got 3 years left on his contract. I do think that if Las Vegas is not competitive here in the next couple of years, that we probably will trade him. Jack Leiter sitting there at 2.33 ERA right now. And I believe he still has rookie eligibility. I think he is a rookie still. But man, has he been pitching really well. And so has Hunter Green. He was not technically a rookie this season. He pitched too many innings last year, but already going up, has only given up 9 runs, has 42 strikeouts and 33.32 innings. That's actually insane. Over 40 strikeouts already is kind of nuts for him. Jose Urquidy has been pitching really well. Kyle Hendricks is up here. Mackenzie Gore is also up here. He's got a +1 to his his pitching ratings, and He pitched about the same amount last year, and he was good in his time in the majors last year. He's been really good so far this season. Joe Ross is actually up there, but Sandy Alcantara right now is the league leader in terms of ERA. Absolutely insane that his start to this year has been really awesome. Madison Bumgarner here, pitched for Richmond, the Rhinos last year, and he goes to Los Angeles, and he is pitching super well through his first 4 or 5 starts this year. Really good stuff for him. Luis Garcia, 23 years old and a 2.14 ERA in 33 innings. Awesome stuff for him. Zach Greinke has been also really awesome as a 38-year-old pitcher. Eric Fedde for the Vipers has been really awesome through 33 innings here. Taijuan Walker for the Vandals has been really great. John Means, of course, has been fantastic. He's one of the best pitchers and most consistent pitchers in baseball. And then Mike Clevenger, 6 starts for him here, was signed for a 3-year deal with Boston, and he is having a great start to the year as well. And, we really didn't know what the Boston Barons pitching staff was going to look like going into the offseason, but they got a couple of good guys here, including Eduardo Venezuela and Zach Plesac, and, those 2 guys have been awesome, and, they've been a good pitching staff so far. Adam Wainwright, last year as a starter, 2.9 ERA so far. We're going to cover his final start of the season for sure. This is going to be his last year. I won't sign him anywhere else after this year is over. But 2 shutouts for Jacob deGrom and Chris Bassett so far. Gunnar Hoagland does actually have a shutout. He hasn't pitched that great this year, but Contra 3 shutouts. We saw him pitch one of those 3 shutouts this year. And then strikeouts, leading that category right now is Shane Bieber here in the American League with 47 of them. And he's got a 3.6 ERA. Dan Castillo, 2.52 ERA, 40 strikeouts for him. He's pitching really well right now. Sam McClanahan at 39 strikeouts. But the most strikeouts out of anybody in the league is deGrom with his 50 Ks so far. But Yusei Kikuchi at number 2 is encouraging. And then Alex Wood. Look at all the Cardinals that are up here for strikeouts. Every single pitcher in that's every single pitcher in that rotation, basically, including Alex Wood. So, the starting pitching for Columbus has one incredible thing about it, and that's that they get a lot of strikeouts. Sandy Alcantara leading the league in innings pitched, though, mainly because of the 3 shutouts he's thrown this year. Only 5 walks allowed by Koei Arahara so far. Chris Bassett with a 0.7 whip is unreal. deGrom has an under 1 whip as well. You look at this, 9 walks, 17 hits is all Bassett has given up all year. And only, a handful of guys here with a below 1 whip in the American League, but 0.76. I know 8 guys under a 1 whip in the American League, but John Means at 0.76 is quite insane. Kyle Freeland has his ERA really low at under 1. Chris Paddock has his at exactly 1 with a 3.18 ERA so far. 1.7 pitching WAR so far leads the league for Sandy Alcantara here. 1.4 for Noah Syndergaard. 1.3 for deGrom. 2.2 WAR for Omar Narvaez overall this year. 1.7 for Trout. 1.7 for Ronald Acuna, who we didn't mention before, but he's having a good start to his season so far, for sure. So Austin Riley is actually the WAR leader in the American League, which is maybe kind of surprising. Miles Straw has already started to improve a little bit here. He's got 10 doubles. He's having a good start to the year, 1.4 WAR for him. So that's a look at some of these stats here, and we're simulating ahead here a little bit. I wanted to set you guys up with a matchup here later on to start the next episode. But before we do that, and before I leave you guys, there are some absolutely massive injury updates that happened here as I was simulating. And we just talked about how good Mike Trout is, how he is the focal point of the Stars offense. He just dislocated his ankle and is going to be out for over 6 months. That means he's done for the entire season and probably for the playoffs. That is an absolutely brutal. And this team does not have anybody else in the outfield to call up right now. And man, Victor Robles is going to have to start now. And Victor Robles to Mike Trout, I mean, there's just no comparison. You cannot compare those two guys. They're not comparable at all in the slightest. This is a massive, absolutely massive blow to a Nashville offense that just, I mean, they need Mike Trout. He is the big focal point of the offense. I mean, it's still I think it's still a decent lineup without him. You know, Lindor's good, J.D. Davis is good, Schwarber and Goldschmidt are good hitters, but, I mean, the bottom of the lineup now here on this team looks really rough. I mean, yikes, and that's a huge injury. Mike Trout was batting .323 with 8 homers and 17 RBIs, and his season is over. And, you know, I know in real life, injuries are something that Mike Trout has continually dealt with, and I mean, this is his third year here in the past 4 years that he has not played a full season. That is absolutely huge monster injury news. That might change the facet of how that team plays the rest of the season. And then another big injury here for the Spiders. Ozzie Albies is really this team's shining star in their batting order, and he gets hurt for 2 to 3 months. So, you know, this is a team that right now is 500. I mean, could they make a run at this division? It's not a very competitive division right now. I think they probably could, but without Ozzie Albies, it makes it so much more difficult for them. I mean, now their best hitter is probably Adley Rutschman on their team, but that's a huge injury and a huge blow for them. So Edmundo Sosa is going to be taking over at second base for them now, and they're going to have to go a couple of months without their superstar and Ozzie Albies. And I thought about bringing up Jeremy Pena, but he was so bad last year when he was in the majors, and I just want to see him in more time in AAA and see him develop a little bit more before I call him back up again. But, wow, some absolutely monster injury news. I'm fascinated to see what happens now with the Stars without having Mike Trout. That is like a team and a season-changing type of injury right there. That is going to be huge as the season continues. And next time, we got to set up for an interesting game here between two teams that are playing pretty well so far this season. You got Kansas City at 18-15 and a surprising team here in the Richmond Rhinos at 19-14 as you see the pitching matchup that we got for you. That's next time as we now go into the next month of the season here and work our way through Season 2. We're now starting May in this franchise. So we'll be back with this. We'll be back with another FIU Dynasty episode next time here on this channel. Then we'll stick with NCAA for the next time, and then we'll go to the UConn Dynasty, and then we'll come back to this series. But, you know, sorry again for the long waits in between. There was kind of a longer wait in between episodes, and I didn't really mean for that to happen. But, yeah, that's just kind of how it worked out. But expect a couple of episodes next week here as I wrap up school for me in this semester. But subscribe if you haven't yet to this channel. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope everyone has a great day and has a great holiday season here. And I will see you all next time on the next one. God bless.